Hello, I'm Deb from Active Health Clinic, and I'd like to talk with you briefly about how we can enhance our interoceptive capacity. So firstly, for those of you who have not encountered this word before, I'll explain what interoception is. We have 8 sensory systems, which can be divided into 2 main categories. 5 senses that connect us to the outside world by taking in data that is external to our body, through sensory receptors in our eyes and our ears and our mouth, and then sending messages to the brain. And we have other senses that connect us to our inside world by recognizing internal data and sending those messages to the brain. And interoception is one of those. And now we have interoceptive receptors located right throughout the body: the heart, the lungs, the stomach, the colon, brain, skin, bones, muscles, whites of the eyeballs. These receptors give us information about how these areas are feeling. Now I'll just give you an example. So the stomach, is it empty? Is it full? Are there sensations of nausea? Are there feelings of butterflies in the stomach? A lot of our body system regulation, though, is carried out beneath our conscious awareness. And, for example, regulation of our cardiovascular system, our digestive system, our endocrine system. And here, receptors are picking up and transmitting information at an autonomic level to help us function. For example, receptors are picking up maybe that our blood volume is low, and this will communicate a need to increase heart rate via our nervous system and endocrine system. But then there's also conscious level interoception. And so we will become aware of sensations of thirst in order that we drink water to boost our blood volume. So conscious level interoception is the noticing of sensations, and then interoceptive awareness is the giving meaning to these groups of sensations and then knowing how we need to act to regulate. Now, the thing is, though, that many of us have a muted sense of interoception, and this can happen for many reasons. Sometimes quite unaware, we practice tuning out and not noticing because sensations that we notice are uncomfortable or painful. And this is a protective mechanism. But the thing is, if we don't easily notice our internal signals, then we can struggle to support ourselves through eating and drinking and taking care of an injury and sleeping enough or finding ways to soothe ourselves. But there is a process to help us feel more comfortable to tune into our body and notice sensations in a safe way. And current research indicates that an improvement in interoceptive awareness can happen within about 8 weeks. So I'll just run through a really brief summary of the process. Now, firstly, we explore ways to feel safe and comfortable. And this helps regulate our nervous system. We can't really start to work on tuning into internal sensations when we are overwhelmed by the external world. And then we find mini categories. So it might be a part of the body that feels comfortable and safe to tune into. And often that's an extremity. So, for example, the hand. And then we explore all the different ways that a hand can feel. And this might be done by experimenting with different textures or temperatures, or asking yourself what you notice when you're doing different activities like washing dishes or exercising or cuddling a pet. And then we regularly practice some of the examples I've just given to give concrete meaning to the words within a mini category. So when you wash your hands, notice the way hands can feel. Are they wet? Are they warm? Are they cold? Do they feel tingly? Do they feel slippery? And then we put these mini categories into larger categories that represent body parts or entire body sensations. So what are all the different ways that my entire body can feel? And then we use deliberate practice, through questioning or wondering, when we engage in just routine activities, but those things that maybe draw attention to the noticing. So, for example, out for a walk. When I'm I'm out walking, what do I notice about the way my hands feel, my feet, my belly, my face? When I stomp my feet, how do they feel different? When I shake my hands, how do they feel different? In cold weather, how does my face feel different? Now, the more frequently we tune in and notice what we're sensing, the more proficient we get at identifying when we need to regulate and what the most effective form of regulation is for us. I hope you found this really brief introduction helpful as a starting point for how you can improve interoception.